not paid to be a role model. I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
Here's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Is it the shoes?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front. Saved by Flaherty. The rebound. Score!
Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on! Game on!
That's right. Welcome to WHPC Sports Talk 4:01 on a Thursday afternoon on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Matt Leonard. I'm your host for this Thursday afternoon. I am joined by Joshua Umahi. What's going on, Josh?
I'm good. We were
you
locked
haven't
into...
finished since the deadline, my friend. What's going on with you?
I was just about to go there. I have so much to say.
Oh, I'm sure.
On the madness that took place over the trade deadline. I have so much to say.
Okay. Mauricio Mendoza, what's up? I haven't seen you in a few weeks either.
I've been kind of busy, but I just want to say rest in peace, Bill Russell.
Of course. We talked about him earlier this week, and we'll be talking about him for a while, I'm sure. Him, Vince Scully, they're all having a little game up there or something. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Imagine a Bill Russell like Wilt Chamberlain one-on-one.
Have you seen that picture where it's like Bill and Wilt are having a one-on-one while Kobe watches from the sideline?
Hey,
that made me so sad.
And Vince Scully on the call, why not?
Oh,
Vince Scully on the play-by-play.
Don't make me cry.
Sorry.
Don't make me cry right now. We just started the show.
Sorry. R.I.P. to all them legends for real.
Of course.
All the way.
Yep. Ross Levine on a Thursday. How you doing, Ross?
I'm doing good. It's the first time in a while I've been on a Thursday.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Welcome, bro.
You haven't been since the deadline either, so I can't wait to hear you called in yesterday, and that was a great call.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
I can't wait for this.
Oh, you know what? I'll give you guys the floor in a second, but 516-572-7440 is the number to call in and join the show. Let's just quickly, because you guys haven't been here, very quick trade deadline takes for the Mets. What do you got, Josh?
Well, okay, so I was very impressed. Let me just start here. I was very impressed by what the Yankees did.
I was thinking of the Mets. I was like, you're the first one to say that all week.
No. The Yankees, they worked. They did work. They did what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, they did a great job.
They're having a great season, nearing 70 wins before August.
Aren't they at 70 now?
They're at 70 now, yeah.
They're at 70, right?
They get some relief pitching.
Before August, you said. Okay, yeah.
They get some relief pitching. They get, Gallo out of here, which I know Yankee fans loved. Now, you feel a little bad for him because of his quotes on the way out, but that's another subject.
Yeah.
But, they did what they're supposed to do. The Montgomery trade kind of surprised me, but, again, they got a nice defensive center fielder in Harrison Bader, who should be good for them.
Mm-hmm.
The Padres. How about the Padres? So
here's my issue with the Padres, right? My issue is the power rankings came out today, as they do all the time.
Right.
And the Padres were ranked above the Mets, and they're like 9 wins below the Mets in the record. I get it. They got Soto. Fine.
Right.
But I think the Mets deserve more respect. We got a caller on the line early in the show. So, caller, you're on the air. What's up?
How the hell did the Mets not do anything?
I was getting to that.
Hi, Anthony.
You guys lost the division. I can't believe it. I feel, Matt, Josh, I feel horrible for you guys. How did they not address anything? I don't get it. And then you got your guy going last night. He stinks it up. I owe Ross an apology.
Thank you.
Because I don't know how, but I think you move whatever you can to get David Robertson, man. I don't know how you're.
By the way, he went to the Phillies for
the 26th ranked prospect in the Phillies system.
So a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Some Diet Coke, really.
Right. And here's another thing I thought of, right?
What's that?
Brett Beatty, right?
Yes.
He should be moved around because you're going to have Lindor for the next few seasons.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying maybe there wasn't a good enough deal where you could justify trading him. But
hang on. Do you know what position Brett Beatty plays?
Shortstop.
No, he's a third baseman.
Oh, well, I'm a jackass.
I was like, what are you saying Lindor
The
for?
same point applies, though, to Ronnie Mauricio.
Oh, he should have been gone.
Yeah. I don't see any future with him in the Mets.
Future. I feel like you guys, and I have Alvarez is untouchable.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But even your lower, because I know it's a high drop off, right?
It is, definitely. It's like top 5, maybe top 4, then it goes way off.
Even your 4 prospects, like, I think that the time is really now.
Absolutely.
Now. I don't know why you guys, Billy Epler was okay with what happened. I don't know. He seems like there should have been another bullpen on. It just couldn't have been that.
I agree.
I feel for you guys because, outside of you, Matt Leonard, the Mets are a very likable team.
Oh, wow. Wow, I can hang up on you. You know that, right? Keep going.
I feel bad for you guys. You guys deserve better. And honestly, even if you fall to the wild card and even get bounced in the wild card, you did make expectations, but still, this is it's an improvement, of course, from last year.
The culture is changing, and that's the big thing.
Mm-hmm. It definitely is. Maybe I just don't get why there were a lack of bullpen. Like you could, I'm repeating myself here, but to let David Robertson go to the Phillies for nothing.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing. And I'm not even just trying to rub salt in the wound. It's just embarrassing.
How did Syndergaard fetch a higher return than Robertson, by the way? How did that happen?
I guess that's your solace, even though you won't be playing him at home. I don't think.
I don't think so, no.
You might play him when you're in Philly, but you're not playing him at home.
That'd be better, in my opinion.
Really? You think so?
I want to rock him in Philly. I get what you're saying. I'd rather go to the stadium and yell at him. That'd be nice, but
right. You would. It wouldn't be as raucous as Yankees Astros, but it would be loud, and it would be a fun event to get. Now, there's another thing I have to address before I hang up the phone.
What's that?
Garrett Cole.
I was waiting for this.
And I understand, we've even in 2009, CC had some bad starts against bad teams, but. You're the number 1 guy, and this is happening to you? Really? It's the Mariners. Maybe that's why
they're a good offensive team, though.
Yeah, but this is a team that you've won every series against going back to 2016.
That is true.
I wish that streak would have continued, and that's the spoiled Yankee fan in me. Jordan Montgomery, so long, farewell, adieu, whatever you want to say. I really can't say I'm going to be missing you that much.
Maybe they'll give Bader run support.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Hopefully. We're playing him Saturday, I believe. Domingo Germán's on the mound.
All right.
So that's going to be interesting. But we get Montes on Sunday, and
that's great.
I want to ask Ross a real quick question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Right.
How are you still hesitant about Montes?
I'm not. I think it's a good move. Again, the trade itself is fine. I think the trade's okay, but my always is the concern because, again, I've seen Cashman make trades in the past to get pitching, and it just never seems to work out in his favor. So that's my concern. In terms of Montas, I think he'll be fine. I just worry about the track record of Brian Cashman. That's all. It's not even Montas' fault. It's more just the history.
That is true.
That sounds like an improvement of where you were with him on Tuesday.
That was Monday, wasn't it? Yeah.
Monday. Anyways, guys, sorry for interrupting the show within the first 4 minutes.
You had to get it off your chest. I understand. That's okay.
I did. I actually do feel bad for you guys because you guys were sold a false bag of goods here. You were supposed to really improve that bullpen. And listen.
Did you see Givens yesterday, by the way?
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
5 earned runs in his Mets debut when they're up 9-0. I thought they were going to lose. I really did.
Against a team without even a star.
They have nobody can hit on that roster.
It's a barren roster right now.
I don't understand. They give away their best hitters.
I don't want to clown you for the DeGrom start, but typical Mets.
That is typical Mets. I agree. That's fair.
Anyways, have a good show, guys.
Thank you for the call, Anthony.
He said something interesting. We were sold a false bag of goods because what have I been saying this entire season.
What's that?
Especially when Ross talks about the bullpen. I'm like, I trust Steve Cohen and under him, Billy Epler, to be aggressive.
I know.
I didn't think I was going to feel like we were still in the Wilpon era by the time 6 o'clock struck on Tuesday.
We got the ground back. That's the acquisition, man.
We talked about this. What are they going to do? That old fear we have as Mets fans, they're going to do nothing and they're going to sell us on. DeGrom and James McCann's coming back. It's like a mid-season.
If I hear anyone say James McCann is coming back, that's an acquisition. That is addition by subtraction, or whatever the opposite. It's subtraction by addition, whatever the opposite of that is.
I agree, and you know what? This is what I worried about, and this is how I knew the Mets weren't going to do anything. I actually felt. I mean, I felt this way for a while, but I felt this way. I felt this way the day of.
Oh yeah.
Was when they were worried about the trade of last year, when they talked Javi Baez, and they didn't want the same thing to happen again because they had Peter Crow Armstrong is raking in Chicago. That's when I knew the Mets were not going to do anything relevant or even like anything close to what I wanted them to do. I literally wanted them to do one thing and one thing only. I mean, two things would have been nice, and let's be honest, but what I would have likened to see was them get a catcher. I would have liked to see the Mets get a catcher, not James McCann, because let's be honest, McCann can't hit.
Would you take Alvarez coming up? Would you take that?
Sure. I would.
If he succeeds.
If he succeeds, sure. But I would have said for them to do that. And if he doesn't work, okay, you bring him back down. Fine, whatever.
Maybe try it out. I want Vientos up by next week, or I'm going to be mad.
Yeah. Vientos should have been up. But all I wanted them to really do was get David Robertson. That's it. And they couldn't even do that. They couldn't even. I asked for a little small thing from the New York Mets, and they couldn't even do that. And then I got to hear Billy Epler in his stupid press conference right afterwards say, well, I try to do this and try to do that. And by the way, you did nothing, because guess what? Before the deadline started, you said, well, we're good. Offensively, we're fine. We got Vogel back because we felt like there was going to be more opportunities to get relief help, and you didn't even do that. So you lied right there. That's number one. And number two, and my final point is, like, it just sounds like just stubborn. Like, after it just felt stubborn, and after that press conference. And then I got to see Michael Givens in a 9-0 game, by the way. Gives up 5 runs batting practice, essentially.
I'm fine putting him in that spot, but what he did was so bad.
It's bad, and people are going to make excuses for him. It's like, oh, well, the environment wasn't great for him. Shut up, okay? That's your job, to get 3 outs, not be batting practice for the Washington Nationals, who don't have Juan or Josh Bell.
Here's my thing.
They have nobody.
Because Billy Epler, I 5% understand not going for Contreras because, like you said, Ross, I wanted a catcher.
He didn't get traded, so the price was obviously too high.
Right.
JD too, same thing. JD Martinez.
That's my point. And then if you're talking about, again, the Baez Crow Armstrong trade last year, it doesn't look too great right now.
Oh, no.
So you have that in the back of your mind, like, fool me twice, shame on me, right? So, yeah, I get that part of it, and again, with James McCann, I can't stand watching him at the plate, but his defensive metrics are off the charts. So,
and he works well with the pitching staff. I can live with an automatic out in the 9-hole on a contending team any day.
He actually had, I saw a stat, he has like 2 wins above replacement. And his OPS is like 500. So that tells you how good he is defensively, right?
I mean, I believe you, but that's ridiculous.
That's an insane stat,
That's ridiculous.
Right? But again, the relief pitching.
He hasn't played half the year.
Yeah, the relief pitching.
The relief pitching, we've talked about it, we've beleaguered it all season on this show. It's just like Michael Givens. Okay, if you were telling me Michael Givens is someone else, like Michael Givens and a lefty reliever.
Yeah.
I'll clap it up for Billy Epler.
If they got Chafin, I wouldn't be mad.
Exactly. But the fact that I get not wanting to trade for a catcher, you're concerned about Contreras and his defense, and
also you're the best catching prospect. You're the best prospect in baseball. Who is a catcher in your minor league system?
I get not going after a catcher.
Yes.
I cannot understand, especially with an outstanding Mets team. This team is outstanding. It's them and the Dodgers, as far as I'm concerned.
People are saying this is the best since '86.
Absolutely, and all the stats in the record tells you that. And the fact that the one glaring need, the bullpen, we've talked about it all season long, the bullpen. You only give me Michael Givens? Only. Not even a lefty reliever. And McGivens is supposed to be okay versus lefties, even though it didn't seem that way yesterday.
It seemed real great, and the lefties were cranking him out of Nationals Park yesterday.
The rejects of the Washington Nationals. What's left of them, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't get it. Robertson, you let go to the Phillies for, like I said, a bag of chips. No one else on a fantastic team, and I have the mantra that you can't win in October if you don't have a quality bullpen.
You're absolutely right. And every champion you look at the last 10 years or so, you have to have a great bullpen. You have to have at least 3 reliable guys.
Yes, and again, we talked about 2015. They had Clipper, they got Addison Reed.
Yeah, you need the 7, 8, 9, right?
Yeah. Now
Diaz is off the charts. Good.
Absolutely,
but he can't do it all on his own.
I don't want to seem like all hope is lost for the Mets bullpen, but it's just unfortunate that you're relying on Trevor May, who's missed 3 months.
Hey, clean inning from Trevor May. Clean inning yesterday.
That's what we like to see. Keep it going. That's what we like to see. But you're going to be relying on him, and you're going to be relying on Tyler McGill, who's never done it before.
Yeah, to me,
I trust McGill in the bullpen.
That's a tough sell, though.
I trust him.
It is. It's a tough. Yeah, I trust. I
His
like
stuff
McGill.
can play there. Peterson, I think, will be in the bullpen too.
I like McGill. It's not even me ripping on the players they currently have right now. However, the point I'm trying to make here is that they needed to do more, which I don't understand. They need to do way more than what they did, and number 3, like this is a big, like, you know what, on
not to cut you off, Ross, J.D. Davis just homered off Clayton Kershaw for the Giants.
Attaboy, J.D. Attaboy.
Which means it's 2 for the Giants and 1 for the Dodgers.
I love that. This is the most Mets thing ever.
No, I saw this tweet.
Oh my God!
The Epler crap is continuing.
I saw
Darren Ruff hasn't played a game yet, and J.D. Davis just homered off a Hall of Famer.
I saw a tweet where it was like, I'm happy to see J.D. Davis go, but I'm sad he's going to the only team that can make every right-handed hitter like.
I know.
Like, who am I trying to have? McGuire incarnated.
Yep.
Like, he's going to have an OPS above 800 in St. Francisco. We know this.
Yeah.
He's going to have an OPS. He's going to have a great time in San Francisco. We know this.
Yeah.
No, Darren Ruff might still be good. Like, I like Ruff's splits against lefties, and that's what we need alongside Vogelback, who's absolutely killing it.
He's been good, Vogelback.
But the early returns on this trade deadline,
that hurts.
This is rough.
Yeah, and
this is rough.
The guy who started the All-Star game just served one up to J.D. Davis. It was a good pitch too, and down to right field.
Yeah,
I'm rough. I'll be honest. I just don't. This is going to get Met fans, and this is how you know Elwood did a horrendous job. Okay, this is part of it. Okay,
yeah.
The fact that I shred Trevor May.
You do.
I don't like that guy. The fact that he was able to get a scoreless inning and not the guy that you acquired, Michael Givens, that is sad. That is pathetically bad. And it was so bad where Buckshaw had to take him out in the 9th inning and put Seth Lugo in the game.
I think Lugo gives up a hit, by the way.
He gave up a hit, but it's not his fault.
Lugo has 1 out to get. He gives up a hit, and I'm like, we're going to lose.
Yeah,
it's over. It's over.
Seth Lugo scares me. Seth Lugo scares me.
No, he scares me.
I've always said that.
He did his job. Givens did not. Let's be honest. Givens is just...
That's true. Lugo got the job done. He didn't allow a run. That's the bottom line here.
Yeah, he got the final out that he needed, and he didn't have to go to Diaz. But again, if the Mets don't go to the World Series because of this bullpen, and I know it's 1 year on the job, and I say you should never get rid of a general manager after 1 year.
Of course not.
But there is going to be significant questions on Epler's case if that bullpen screws the Mets up in the postseason. That is just plain on fact.
That is very, very true. That's a great point.
I just want to clarify something. The Mets, again, they could very well still win the World Series.
Yes.
Like, this is still a fantastic team.
It is.
But what bothers me is that you have this great team, 66-38, and you're not going all in with it.
Yeah, really? Like
even the Wilpons and their ownership in 2015, they got Cespedes. They got Addison Reed. They went for it.
Moves.
They went for it.
And again,
that's what you're supposed to do.
But here's all I'll say about the Cespedes thing, though.
Yeah.
And give them credit. They got him. They got Cespedes.
Yep.
That fell in their lap. It felt like it felt like the I hate to compare sports here. But it felt like the Giants, like when they got Barkley in the second overall pick. Like,
it was there for the taking.
It was there. Like any general manager could have done it. Like I feel like that's kind of what the Cespedes thing was in a way, where it's like it fell in their lap, just had to do it. And this is what I said before the deadline. They just never go all out. They're just afraid to just make the big move.
I don't
because
know.
they're just historics.
I don't know what they're worried about. What I think it is when they trade guys like J.D. Davis, we just saw him homer off Clayton Kershaw. We didn't know what he was going to do other than that. But I mean, I think they're afraid of their prospects being stars somewhere else. You cannot be afraid of that.
It's a fair thing to worry about.
Yeah.
If you're like. You're where the Phillies are. You're middling, and you're not the top.
If you're
of
the
NL
Nationals,
East.
you don't want to trade Soto in the division, or you're the Mets, if you don't want to give prospect to the Nationals.
Right.
I get that. That makes sense to me.
If the Mets were like 50-50 right now, and you're like, oh, we could make a push for the wild card.
Not even that. I'm talking about trading in division. I understand not doing that.
Right,
the Soto thing, I got over it. Josh Bell, I got over it. Whatever.
But I'm just talking about it was never going to be Soto, right?
We couldn't have gotten Trey Mancini, really?
It was just that's the thing. There were other bats available.
He homered yesterday,
and all you heard was that the prospects. We love our prospects. We love Alvarez. Alvarez is untouchable, yes, but all the other guys, I love Vientos too. I want to see Vientos get a chance in the big league roster before I see him get traded, ideally. But if something's there for the taking, to go for it. You got to do it. And again, Mauricio made the point. If the bullpen blows it in the postseason, what if the Mets lose the division? They got 5 huge games against the Braves right now.
It's not good. And let's be honest. This is what it should have been like, okay? Before the trade deadline, it should have been, we're going to help you out, Buck Showalter. We're going to help you out. We're going to get you 3 arms to help you out.
Of course, but no.
Instead, Billy Apple basically hit him with a bat. That's what happened. He hit him with a bat. He basically said, "Screw you. This is your bullpen." That's what he did. I'm sorry. That's the way he did. And honestly,
he's like, work with what you got, Buck. Sorry.
Yeah. And honestly, Met fans have every right to be pissed off at Billy Apple. I'm not saying put a billboard and say you suck, but
no, we're not Red Sox fans.
No,
we're not that bad.
No, but look, I can't get mad at fans for getting mad at the general manager when you had an opportunity to make moves. And I said, the offseason, this is why you need to make moves in the offseason because now you had to give up a big price for it, which, by the way, you are not willing to do anyway. So make the move in the offseason to do it then, not at the deadline. And I knew 5 minutes as time was ticking away, they weren't going to do anything. They got Darren Ruff. They got Michael Gibbons just to say, hey, we did something. That is what they did. They didn't do anything significant like we wanted to do that. I'm telling you. And by the way, and calling up Vientos, I want to see Vientos called up tomorrow then. If you think he's that good, call him up.
Yeah,
I agree.
Prove it.
Yeah. Prove it.
Trade J.D. Davis and Vientos. Again, we'll see how Darren Ruff does. But Vientos, to me, the way he's hitting lefties in the minors, that would have been the perfect, not acquisition, but perfect call-up and perfect replacement for J.D. Davis.
I just don't know what their plan is.
I don't know what their plan is. You love these prospects, but you're too scared to call them up?
If you come out as Billy Epler and you say, look, this is the direction we're going in. We say it with the Knicks all the time. Show the fans a direction, no matter what it is. Yeah. And we'll just shut up.
Whether you're tanking or just going all in for a championship you might never get, show us what you're doing.
It's around a player.
It doesn't even have to be like, we're going all in. It doesn't have to give the fans what they want. Just tell them what's going on. Yeah. And again, not every detail either. Don't be like, we're calling up Alvarez in exactly 15 days. Like, don't be like that. But be like, okay, we're considering this, and that, and we're still pegging a push to the playoffs. That's all I want.
Epler's got to think that not only Alvarez, but Beatty, Vientos, like they have a real role on this team next year.
Or
like, he must think
at least
that
the year after, I hope.
Well, we'll see in September, but he must think next year, like when these guys are all season, had a full year of AAA under their belt, they're really going to be contributors.
Well, Beatty's never played a game in AAA.
Oh, he's still in AA.
He's in AA, yeah.
Vientos and Alvarez.
Alvarez is killing it in AAA,
He's picking it up. He's picking it up.
Well, then they need to just call these guys up now, because guess what? You think these players are that good, then call them up. And by the way, in terms of this whole idea about worrying about players being good elsewhere, isn't that your problem? Like, I'm talking to like Epler. Isn't that your guys' problem here, that these guys keep walking away and being really good elsewhere? That's your problem.
They trade away the wrong guys, it looks like. It looks that way.
Yeah.
But it could be other teams develop them better, the different system, whatever. That could be that.
But that's still your problem.
Your system isn't good enough to get that result out of that guy.
Yeah, so that's part of their problem.
You're right.
And look, there's obviously been some acceptance. Of course, Familio left the Mets. That hasn't worked. He got DFA'd by the Phillies.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty.
Yeah, so there's exceptions, of course. And by the way, Mets are going to bring Familia back.
No, they're not.
They're going to. That would be Epler's like, hey, I made a move. I can guarantee it.
Bringing back Jerry's Familia.
Yeah, bringing back Jerry. I'm telling you, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be bringing back Jerry's Familia.
We should have done the trade deadline. We should have traded for Juan Lagares.
Oh.
Bring back everybody. 2015, bring it back.
The Van's back together.
Cespedes is out there in a hole somewhere, probably. So bring him back, too.
By the way,
the old timers day. We're going to bring Cespedes and see if Cohen's off. Like, what do you got left in the tank?
Yo, by the way, when 6 o'clock on Tuesday, I'm holding out hope that there'll be like a deadline move for the Mets. They found something.
Yeah, Michael Givens. That deadline move.
That, and I see Iglesias from the Angels.
Yeah!
To the Mets?
No.
To the Braves. I'm like, oh, God.
I wasn't that annoyed with that. Iglesias is not that great anymore.
Yeah, but it's still a reliever that went to a division rival that we could have gotten.
No, I understand that, but look, Robinson was their guy. They loved him. Well, clearly they didn't love him enough to get rid of one of your better prospects here, and you didn't even need to do that. And again. I feel like they do this all the time. They just hire GMs that are cautious, hire aggressive people.
What do you want, Dave Dombrowski? Look how that's working out.
No. I'd rather hire Dave Dombrowski
Look how that's working out for Philly.
I don't know about that.
Hire aggressive people. I don't want cautious people. I want aggressive people.
You're right about the aggressiveness.
I want somewhere in the middle. That's what I want. Too aggressive is so dangerous.
I wanted to ask you both a question because I've been wondering this because I saw something like we see something like David Robertson going for the 26th best Phillies prospect. Do you think we heard about during the lockout the Steve Cohen text, the Cohen text?
Oh yes.
Do you think
we talked about this Tuesday and Wednesday?
Is there a little pettiness going on here? Like they don't want to do business with the Mets and Steve Cohen because they can just sign everybody in free agency. Why would we? And if we do trade with you, we're going to tax you like apparently the Cubs were doing.
I do not agree with it if it's happening. Obviously, that's wrong if it's happening. I think there could be some truth to that, but we'll never find out.
No, never.
Nobody will ever admit that. It will never come out to the media ever.
It's just weird because we were linked to Robertson. Mets fans were linked to Robertson for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Phillies for the 26th best prospect. You're telling me the Mets couldn't give their 26th best prospect and the Cubs were like, no, thank you.
Well, here's the thing. They wanted to package Robertson and Contreras. I think the Mets were going for Robertson low, but then the Cubs were saying, like, it's both or nothing, and that was the problem they had.
I mean,
which is ridiculous, by the way.
If that's the case, that's really slimy.
If the Mets are offering you a better prospect than the Phillies for the same exact player, pull the trigger.
Yeah. And maybe I'm giving Billy Epler too much credit.
And they got Givens in the same team, by the way.
Exactly. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit because you want to think with a fantastic Mets team that can very well win the World Series and at the very least represent the National League.
Yeah.
You're thinking like, what GM would not be super aggressive? Who cares about prospects?
I don't know.
Alvarez, yes, you keep him, but who cares about the rest of them when you can win the World Series this year?
I just feel like even if that whole thing came with Cohen is true or not, that's not an excuse for Epler. Just isn't.
Really? You don't think so?
I don't, because again, if the best deal or the best package you can give, the other team should be able to take it regardless. And if
they're smart enough, the other teams, you're right.
Yeah, and look, there's teams out there that are smarter than others. That's clearly obvious. But I don't know. I can't give Epler a pass here on this one. I know what people are gonna. I know what people are gonna say after this year. It's gonna be like, well, he was trying to get his feet wet. That is sad. That's silly if that's the case. And honestly, this whole idea, because when he was at the Angels, he was around an awful owner with the Los Angeles Angels. Awful owner. Well, now you're not with an awful owner anymore.
You're with the best owner in sports, arguably.
So that excuse is over. To me, you're with a better owner. There's no excuse why you can't get things done. First of all, the Brewers, maybe the Brewers don't like Steve Cohen because they didn't vote for him to be the owner. That's one team out of possible 30. I mean,
you don't get Josh Hader, big deal.
There's other teams you can go out and try to negotiate with.
Yeah.
Clearly, he didn't do a good enough job at doing that. So I can't be on his side, especially after that press conference, which was horrendous.
And we've crapped on Billy Epler so far. Let me give him credit for, Vogelback is killing it. Tyler Naquin looks like a great under-the-radar acquisition.
Yes.
And based on their approach about, like, their splits and they're seeing who does well against lefties, righties, Darren Ruff should be a good Met, too.
You hope.
So
really hope so. He's the one I'm hoping on.
Yeah, if he can, because listen, you know how I feel about the Mets versus left-handed pitching. If he can come in here and match lefties, that's all I'm asking for Darren Ruff. Match lefties from the DH. If Vogelback, keep doing what you're doing. Now, what he's doing so far may not be sustainable.
No.
But just keep matching them righties, bro. Do what you've been doing.
He's been a streaky guy his whole career. If he gets on a hot streak, this can be good.
Absolutely.
We need that hot streak in the next 5 games. I want to get into that quickly. The next 5 games against Atlanta. The Mets are playing, so far, what is the biggest series of the year.
Yeah.
It has to be, right?
5 games.
It's a 5-game set. One of them is a makeup game.
Do you see it to be a very close game?
I see all the games to be close, most likely, because both teams are really good. I'm praying and asking the Mets, you need to take 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
This needs to happen. At least 3 out of 5, I should say. I would take 4. I don't think they're taking 5. There's no chance in hell they take 5.
Nah.
3 out of 5. And look, I think the best way they're going to win this series is if their starting pitching goes really deep. I think they have to extreme like 8, 9. I know that's unrealistic. Well, do you trust the pen or not? So you got to go 8 or 9.
You're saying push the guys a little bit? Because DeGrom's going to be like a 70-pitch limit on Sunday.
Well, then you go with maybe David Peterson.
He's going to start within the 5 games.
Yeah, they're gonna maybe you can go with Lugo, maybe go with somebody like that.
Long reliever, and they didn't get that either. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, they need to get deep starting pitching and get the game to Edwin Diaz themselves because this bullpen cannot do it. And honestly, I mean, look, players are never going to go out and say their general manager isn't good.
Of course,
I understand that. Well, unless you're Goran Dragic, but I always remember when that came out. No good. Look. Your starting pitching probably needs to go out and tell Bach, hey, I need to do this job. I gotta get the game to Diaz because your guys can't do it. I'm kidding. Just go out and pitch 8 innings.
Here's what's projected to be the rotation for this series. Tonight we got Carlos Carrasco going. By the way, it's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, so I'm gonna go Carrasco no hitter.
Yes, absolutely.
Cookie's pitching no hitter tonight.
Absolutely.
On National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Let's go.
Then we have Taijuan Walker Friday, and that's blackout night tomorrow. Every fan in attendance gets a Max Scherzer black T-shirt. If I didn't have one, I would go.
Been to like 30 Mets games this year.
Yeah, whatever. Saturday, they haven't announced for the Mets or Braves yet because it's a doubleheader. It's looking like it's going to be, from what I hear on Twitter, Scherzer and Peterson. I don't know what order that day. But it's Max's day to go, so he'll probably go Saturday. 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock starts that day, and Peterson's being called up to start in this series. So Sunday, we got DeGrom.
Yeah.
It's DeGrom against Strider on Sunday. A lot of swing and misses on Sunday.
I was impressed Strider's phenomenal.
He's going to win Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. He's so good.
We talked about DeGrom's debut, and again, he looked good, but it's the Nationals. All right, that's cute. That's nice comeback.
He threw 102, and I got so scared.
It's.
Did you know his average slider in that game was 92.8 miles an hour?
Insane.
The average MLB fastball this season is 93.
Well, so much
about that.
So much for him dialing it back.
No chance.
He's clearly not, but...
Back to what Anthony said in spring training. You're going all out against scrubs. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
The Braves are not scrubs, and we talk about... This is his first big test.
Talk about high stress, high leverage.
Yeah, the first start was cute, but this is against the Braves. You have a chance to really put a stamp on this division heading into the final 2 months here.
How do you make a statement?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see how the Braves fans are going to be for these next 2 weeks while I'll be in Georgia.
I hope we make them.
Oh, you're going to Georgia? That's
Yeah, should I bring a Mets jersey?
You're going to get jumped, so no.
Mauricio, I hope you go to like a sports bar and the Mets win like 10-0, and
I'll be like, hey, what's up, guys?
I want them to cry.
I got a Mets jersey.
Yeah, wear your Mets gear, wear a Mets hat. I want them to cry. I want them to cry.
Yeah.
I can't stand Braves fans.
Don't cry. They'll attack him.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah.
Well, it's not Philly. It's not Philly. It's not Philly.
Make sure you pack your fisticuffs with you, Mauricio.
Oh, yeah, no worries. And I'll come back in the next 2 weeks with a black eye.
He's going to come back. What happened? The Mets won.
You know, the interesting thing about this series, when you look at the pitching matchups, if we can win this one, say Carrasco just lights out, if we win this game, and then 3 of the next 4, you have Scherzer, Walker, and DeGrom, tonight's a big game.
Yeah.
Think about the Mets rotation going forward, by the way. Bassett is the only guy we didn't name. He pitched beautifully yesterday.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
This rotation's insane.
That's one. You know, again, the Mets are selling us on DeGrom's the big acquisition midseason, but it could work out.
But everyone's getting healthy, and that's the real acquisition.
Yes,
that's the thing.
We haven't seen this Mets team is second in the National League overall record, and they haven't had a healthy rotation all year long.
Nope. They were without Scherzer for the longest time for that whole, the West Coast road trip in June.
And all 3 guys, Bassett, Walker, Carrasco, had their rough spots, but they're really getting back into form now. Like, this rotation, no matter what the narrative about the Mets and what they did or didn't do at the deadline, this rotation is still the same as we enter the season. This rotation is going to decide.
It's elite. The rotation.
What they do, absolutely.
It's amazing on what this pitching staff can do, as you said. And look, the guy that I think I've been most impressed with all season is Walker.
He's been amazing. He was borderline all-star level.
Yeah. And look, I understand there's always going to be that knock on him because last season they said he fell off the cliff. I understand that, but the reason why I'm going to defend the guy is because I think he was gassed last year. And
he hadn't pitched that many innings in years.
And there was, let's be honest, there was chaos around the whole franchise as a whole. Rojas,
Baez getting there with a thumbs down garbage.
The Lindor thing. Yeah, that was bad. A lot went wrong in the second half of last year.
That is very true.
So I think Walker has been really impressive, particularly these last few months. And I'm glad that they got Chris Bassett because Chris Bassett is unbelievable. That is the ultimate competitor, and guess what? I hope they give that guy a contract.
Pay him his money.
Yeah, because he is great. And I know he's in his 30s. I understand that, but that's irrelevant. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he has not pitched that many innings in his career. So
it's like DeGrom.
It's like DeGrom, and the difference is Bass actually wants to stay here, so that's good. DeGrom, I don't know. I mean,
it's a very good point.
Even though DeGrom did look pretty happy after his start, that's
of course
good
he
to
did.
see.
He's not going to act like he's mad.
Even after that, that game against the Marlins. I don't know if you remember when Nima hit the home run against the Marlins. DeGrom didn't look like he was happy. Seriously.
I guess.
Sorry.
To that point, I like Jeff Passan, but when he's on ESPN after one start saying, "Oh, his market is gonna be $50 million,"
Shut up, Jeff. Shut up. I don't want to hear it.
Stop.
I know it's true. I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. We don't want. No.
The rest of the league wants to hear it though, and that's the problem.
And then Buster Olney's like, "Oh, he's going to the Braves. He's going to the Braves." Like, you shut up too. Nobody wants to hear that right now.
Do you think if he wants $50 million, the Braves are really going to give it to him?
No, of course not.
Okay, so there's your answer. He's not. I don't think. I mean, look, he might go to the Braves, but here's the thing: whoever gives him $50 million a year is dumb. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think the guy's going to be healthy for half that deal. And look, there's always because let's be honest, the guy hasn't pitched in a year. I mean, he hasn't had a full season. I mean, 2018 was his last full season. I mean,
19 was full or no?
Well, on the IL, he wasn't on the IL in 2018.
No, 19 he won the Cy Young.
Yeah, 19 he won the Cy Young.
18 also.
18 also.
And then 2020 was a shortened year.
And
then last year was a disaster.
Yeah, second half. And he was
great when he pitched, and that's what I keep holding on to.
He was great when he pitched. I don't think he's going to the Braves. I don't know where he'll go, but he's not going to the Braves.
All right, I hope so. You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Matt Leonard, Josh Umahi, Mauricio Mendoza, and Ross Levine with you. Just recap some of the Mets trade deadline moves and previewed their series coming up against the Braves. Your WHPC weather forecast powered by Pantano's Gourmet in Hewlett, Uniondale, and Garden City Park. Right now, it is 89 degrees in Garden City with a high of 94. I don't see it going up from here. I don't know why it's a high of 94. But
you literally could have just said it's hot.
It is hot out. There's a heat advisory. Be careful out there. Wear sunscreen. Don't be out in the sun for too long.
Wear a hat.
Just protect yourself from the heat. And that is your weather update presented by Pantano's Gourmet. We have a caller on the line. Let's go to the phones right now. Caller, you're on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
Yeah, hi, this is Charlie from Flow Park.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
Good. You guys are having a wonderful discussion today.
Thank you.
Ross is sounding more and more like Mike Francesa to me, which is just about the highest compliment I can pay anybody. You guys are all great, though.
Thank you.
Anyway, quick point. Aaron Judge is having a monster year, right?
Of course.
Okay, I'm old enough. I became a baseball fan because it was Mickey Mantle's last year. Mickey Mantle did that every single year because he was playing for one-year contracts. There was no 10-year contract at the end of the rainbow. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a ball player on a one-year. He's doing a push. It's called a contract push. And you guys know I hate these multi-year contracts.
Oh, yes.
And that's why I love because I'm a Yankee hater, and I love the Cole contract and the Stanton contract. I mean, incredible amounts of money, and they're both, winning with these guys. It's just going to keep the Yankees down forever.
Yeah, how Cole looked yesterday is not looking pretty. So
yeah, he needs that spider tack stuff.
He's missing his best friend a little bit. Yeah,
he's not the same pitcher. And he's a head case.
Absolutely. He's very much a head case. That is completely true.
Did you see that clip of when somebody homered and he's looking at Matt Carpenter's like, "How are we going to celebrate? Oh yeah, we're banging the front of the duck. Yeah." He's
and what do you hear about Mike Trout? I hear he's got the David Wright thing going.
It's similar. It's not the exact same thing. Thank goodness for Mike Trout, because I would never wish David Wright had on anybody. I love David Wright.
No.
But Mike Trout's got a spinal condition. They said he'll deal with it the rest of his career, and they hope he can manage it, and I hope so too. He's one of the greatest players I've ever seen in my lifetime, if not the best. So I really, really hope he can manage this.
But the Angels now owe him, what, $250 million?
over 300 easily.
It's ludicrous, but look, I understand it's the reality. You're going to give these ridiculous contracts, but that's what we're missing out on. We're missing guys playing on, and I'm not saying that's right either. But the greats of my generation were playing for 1-year contracts. That's all.
That's a way better system, in my opinion, because guys actually want to play the game at that point.
Oh, it's phenomenal! It's phenomenal. That's why Clemente was Clemente, and Aaron, and Mays, and Mantle, and my personal favorite, Frank Robinson. They were always playing for a contract. Anyway, keep up the good work. You guys are doing great.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for the call.
My pleasure. Bye.
Phenomenal call.
He always does great calls.
Absolutely.
I love when he calls the show.
He made a fantastic point about the contract thing and the Mickey Mantle era. Like, I say it all the time, and this goes not only for baseball, but football, basketball, NFL, NBA. The guys, they try so hard. They're super competitive when it's a contract year. Could you imagine if look at how much these NFL wide receivers like Deebo Samuel last year. Deebo Samuel in the contract year he was not only just a wide receiver, he was a running back. He did everything for the 49ers. Could you imagine if what Charlie said, if every player was on 1-year deal to
in all sports,
deal, in all sports, the competitiveness, people complain about the competitiveness of the NBA all the time.
Oh God.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. LeBron,
could you imagine?
LeBron, the extension he's eligible for today, by the way, I don't think he'd sign at all. I don't think he'd stay with the Lakers. But LeBron is eligible today for a 2-year, $97 million extension. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, I don't think he should sign it. That's how bad the Lakers are to me right now.
Yeah,
I don't care if you $50 million a year. I don't care what money you're getting, LeBron. You know you can be better somewhere else.
You're absolutely right, but you know he's going to sign it.
He will.
He'll sign it. He'll play the 2 years.
He's like, Russ and AD are my guys, and gang or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Could you? And again, some players suck in the contract year, like Russell Westbrook.
Yes,
some players don't have the best year in the contract year, but. Could you imagine? We might actually see fights in the NBA if every player was on a 1-year to 1-year deal. Could you imagine?
Oh, man.
Everybody trying to get their money.
Oh.
It'll be like 80s and 90s all over.
It wasn't like that back then with the contracts, but you're right. It would be like that kind of like we'd have Malice in the Palace like every week.
Oh, man.
Every week.
That would be beautiful.
Last week we talked about the Draymond possible extension with the Warriors.
Oh yeah.
He's on a contract year. He might come out like Dennis Rodman with a 3-point shot back. Because he's on a contract year and he wants his money.
Of course.
If he ends up like Dennis Rodman, he might go into pro wrestling again.
Draymond Green would be kicking people below the belt if he's won his money, man.
He's already pretty much
he's done that before.
Yeah.
What, Steven Adams, he kicked right there and
that was
in the no zone.
that was wild. I watched that live.
I know.
And they showed like 10 million replays because they were reviewing it. I'm like,
Steven Adams, if everyone refers to him as the strongest man in the NBA, any man knows you get hit in that spot, you are down.
Yeah,
it's over.
Steven Adams might be top 5 toughest in the NBA. He was looking pretty feeble on the floor.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all.
Draymond's a strong guy too, and he used full force. We're not talking about this, but
that's what I'm saying though. If you get every player on a 1-year contract,
I know.
It would never happen because of the CBA. We're too far gone now with the max money and everything. But could you imagine every player? Like, not only Aaron Judge might have some competition if that was the case.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Come on now.
Well, I want to shift the conversation now a little bit. And
sure.
I'm going to ask you guys a question right here.
Are you ready for some football?
There we go.
That's been so long overdue to get in there. Corey's been doing it for weeks. I've been waiting to get it in there. I finally did it.
I love it. It's right here tonight, really.
Hall of Fame game is tonight, baby. I've never been so excited for a preseason game. I know it's the Jaguars and the Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Lamar's probably not even going to play.
Hold on, was it the Jaguars and the Ravens or the Jaguars and the
Raiders? I'm sorry. Why did I say Ravens?
It's
Raiders. RA. It's Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Raiders. Okay, Derek Carr's not going to play. I just written Lamar's statement. Lamar's definitely not going to play because he doesn't have a game tonight.
It's the same thing every year, though. Like the Hall of Fame game will give us some of the lamest hypothetical matchups. But
yeah.
Just seeing football on the TV screen again, bro.
You're watching live football, and it's in Canton, Ohio. How about baseball needs this? They used to do that. You know that? They used to have a Hall of Fame game like during the season with the induction. They used to play in Cooperstown.
Really?
The Piazza played one of those for the Mets.
Why would they ever get rid of that?
I don't know.
That's phenomenal.
That's something the NBA should do.
The NBA should do that too. Yeah, like I mean, I don't know about Springfield, Massachusetts. But
No. I don't think many NBA players are scrambling.
You've been
to
to the
go there.
Basketball Hall of Fame?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's beautiful. You got to go.
I have to.
They have a whole section dedicated to Kobe now. It's new after he passed,
phenomenal.
but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, they let
Amazing
everybody
Hall of Fame building.
They let everybody into the Hall of Fame in the NBA, but
The building itself's amazing.
yeah, I gotta go.
It's literally like the floors are like, not to get too into this, but the floors are basically, it's like 3 big rings of stuff.
Ooh.
And it's centered around a giant basketball court in the middle. And you can just like shoot hoops on this court. And they have like baskets from throughout. They have like a peach basket you can shoot on.
Oh, I have to go.
Oh, it's amazing.
Now I have to go.
It's 2-hour drive from here. It's amazing.
Absolutely, I have to go now.
Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, it's in Massachusetts. 2 hours from here. It's not that long of a drive. It's a great Hall of Fame. Baseball's my favorite of the Hall of Fames, but basketball's pretty. It's more interactive. It's fun.
It's a good preview to like if your team's preseason football coming. It's like a good preview.
Yes.
To it. Yeah.
They always say by week 3 of the preseason when the stars start playing, but there's only 3 weeks now, so it's going to be different. I don't know if week 2 we're going to see the stars. I don't know how it's going to work. But
Right.
Yeah.
Preseason football is the most boring thing to me. I'm going to watch every second of the Hall of Fame game tonight.
I talked
I'm
about
starved.
this with my boys the other day, where it's like everything that happens in the NFL, no matter what, we're always going to be locked in. Like
Of
football
course,
has
it's the NFL.
football has such a toxic hold on us.
No, because their marketing is better than any sport in the country.
Absolutely, and just something about the TV watching experience.
That's true.
It's different from basketball and baseball. Like baseball, you want to go to the ballpark and watch the game.
Yeah.
Something about watching the game and then
Watching
you go
an NFL game in person, unless you're sitting really, really close, is terrible.
Exactly,
it's horrible.
And then the TV experience, like from the broadcasters to the programming to
the new stats they have, like the StatCast of the NFL kind of thing. What is it, next gen stats they call it, right?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Absolutely,
that's great. That's a great addition to the NFL.
And then on top of that, you throw in all the sports betting and the fantasy football. No, football got a crazy type.
Sports betting got legalized late in last year's NFL season. I cannot wait, man.
That's the thing too. In New York, this is the first time we're gonna have a
full season of NFL gambling.
Oh, so much money is gonna be lost.
Oh yeah,
so much money is gonna be down the drain.
Last year's NFL postseason. If that shows you anything about sports gambling and football.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people. You know, a lot of people. That was their like rookie experience, right? Like that was their hazing. Oh, I'm gonna throw a 10 like parlay on this Packers 49ers game. It's gonna be so high. It's gonna be so high scoring. It was like,
why'd you do that to me? Of all the games you could have picked from last year's postseason.
I didn't mean to go there, but you know.
Whatever. We got a caller on the line. Let's go to the phones again. Caller, you're on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
Oh man.
Here we go.
This man said, here we go.
It's Thursday, boys.
Yes.
Anyway, let's keep talking about the NFL, right?
Yes,
and I was going to save this for the end of the show, Josh, but I have to bring this up. Because now that you brought the Packers thing, those are fighting words. And you know what I'm going to bring up?
Oh, would that be Psycho T for the Saints?
Oh, the rookie guy?
Yeah.
That is correct. What the hell is wrong with this guy?
So for everyone that doesn't know,
offensive lineman rookie, right?
Yes. We drafted 2 rookies. Chris Olave, who's fantastic.
I wanted him. I love that guy.
That was an A+ pick. Now my B- pick was Trevor Penning. I don't know about Trevor Penning.
Yeah, I'd say.
He's a little. He was always. He had a reputation in college. He was a little crazy. Got caught holding too many holding penalties. But he plays a premier position, left tackle, and I was so focused on it even before what we're about to talk about.
Get to the point.
This man got that dog in him.
He's insane.
He's crazy.
He started fights at practice each of the last 3 days.
And they finally, Dennis Allen was like, no,
okay, get out.
Yeah, we got to kick him out. We got to kick him out now. Like that's, you know what? I didn't know how I felt about it initially.
You start one fight in practice, I'd kick you out. 3 consecutive days.
You know what? I'll say this: we drafted a left guard. The Saints did. Andrus Peat. Andrus Peat gets bullied every week on the football field. Now, he has no dog in him. He lets people push him around.
Okay.
He's cost us playoff games. I'm actually encouraged that Trevor Penning is, this riled up in OTAs.
I couldn't find the clip on YouTube, but I saw on Instagram a clip of him in college being interviewed around the time of the NFL draft, right? Okay. You see this?
I haven't, no.
Oh, this is the best quote of the preseason so far.
Oh.
They asked him in college before he got drafted. It was like one of the Gruden QB camp type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't quite that, but it was like that kind of setting, like, like one of the analysts interviewing him pre-draft.
Okay.
And they asked him, what's your favorite part about playing football? His answer, and I'm not quoting exactly, I don't remember the exact quote, something along the lines of, being able to legally assault the guy across from me.
Dang.
And I saw that after I heard about the fights, and I was like, this guy's got problems.
If it was any
Get him some help. Give him a hug.
I think he's too far gone for all that, Matt. If he was drafted to like the Giants or the Patriot way, right? If he went to New England,
him in New England?
he would be they would be killing him right now. But if you know
Mac Jones when he got to New England, we're like, oh God, it's Tom Brady again. Like, it looks like a rookie Tom Brady, not talent-wise. He was good, but, we were like, the way he ran, the way he walked, the way he was speaking to the media, we're like, oh, God. They fixed Cam Newton for a while. Remember that?
For a while, yeah. It's just...
Cam stopped dressing like Medea, and then, it was the whole thing.
He wore something like, you said Medea, he literally wore, like, it was borderline a dress to a podcast.
It was.
So that was interesting guy. But
he had, like, the whole, like, the head thing on, whatever it was, like, the bandana on his head.
Like he's a church wife.
He's the fan. Like,
but my point being, like, if you know anything about the Saints locker room, like, if he got drafted to the Patriots, it'd be a much bigger deal. But the Saints locker room, I mean, you have the whole Bounty Gate thing, which I refuse to talk about anymore on the show.
Okay, good.
Yes. You have Kamara, who's had trouble.
Send Kamara's boys after him.
Yes.
Let's straighten him out.
We've got, I'll leave it at this, the Saints locker room got some dogs in them, so he should fit. Psycho T, we used to call Tom Brady that. Trevor Penning is now Psycho T Part 2.
That's the best nickname,
Psycho T,
arguably in football.
Psycho T is going to fit right in like a glove, bro.
He's going to start, right?
He's going to start.
Psycho T.
And by the way, he plays left tackle, like I said. So pretty much the entire, not Jameis Winston, not the defense, the entire Saints season might hinge on this lunatic. I love it.
Oh, wow. He's going to be protecting Jameis, I guess, right? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
He'll be protecting Jameis' blind side. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a scary proposition, but hey.
I want to see him and Jameis do interviews together.
Oh, okay.
I'd pay so much money for that.
You might have just done something. I
want to pay for that. I would like do pay-per-view for those interviews.
The Trevor Penning,
so would.
Jameis Winston side-by-side post-game interviews. That would be fantastic.
To eat that W and he punches the interviewer like right in the head.
The Saints are such a wild card team. Like,
I know. They literally are a wild card team, by the way.
No.
I'm going to keep telling you that so that they prove me wrong.
So you might be right, but I'm just saying anybody that wants to say, oh, we're so in love with Tom Brady, the Buccaneers are going to walk away with the division.
It's not just Tom Brady. Their team is so well-rounded and good.
That. Again, I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but don't act like the Saints don't have a shot.
Their team is about as well-rounded as Leonard Fournette right now.
Oh, wow. I was wondering who was going to go there first. Good job, man.
Thank you. Hey, he's a Buccaneer. It relates.
Yes.
But let's get talk some more football, right? I had a segment I wanted to do to get us ready for the NFL season.
Okay.
So, some of the best parts of the TV watching experience are the music these people use on TV for the NFL, the NFL Network and the ESPNs and CBS, NBC, all of them.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna rank the NFL themes right now.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I was going to save it for you for tomorrow, but it's just going to be the two of us, so it's not going to be as fun.
I'm excited for it right now.
Yeah, okay, here we go. We're going to start with your favorite, Josh.
Let's hear it. That's number one. That's number one. That's gotta be number one. That's number one, bro.
I will fight you. That's number 3.
Number 3?
I will fight you. That's number 3.
Number 3?
That's number 3.
That's iconic right there.
I know it is. That's my number 3.
So rank it number 3.
I grew up listening to that as a kid.
Come on, man.
Literally.
Whatever.
You an NFC fan, too. Remember, 12 o'clock Packers game coming on. You hear that theme, you know it's time for business.
The Packers usually play at 4:25, Josh.
Oh, wow, because you were...
We're in America's game of the week,
You're elite company?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're not Giants and Cowboys rivalry BS level.
That's a shot. That's a shot.
We're not on the level of the Giants and the Cowboys now in terms of the games or whatever.
Even at 4:25, this is iconic. This is iconic, bro.
That's my third. That's my hot take. That's my third.
All right, so what's the next one?
Okay. We got CBS next.
Okay.
This is number 2.
Number 2?
This is number 2. This beats Fox for me.
You know what? I'll give you credit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not over Fox for me, but
It's
this
so
is
good.
This is pretty iconic too.
Yeah, I put
This
it
is pretty
number
iconic.
2, but I don't think it's better than Fox.
Think about this, right? Just close your eyes for a second. Listen to this. Hello, friends. That's CBS football right there.
Jim Nance, Phil Simms back in the day, but now it's Tony Romo.
I love Tony Romo better than Phil Simms.
Phil Simms
so much better.
Phil Simms was a disaster. But
Yeah, I know.
This is pretty
I was
good.
in the studio with Boomer Esiason and all them, and yeah.
Yeah.
I can't name anybody else on that crew, by the way.
No, I can't either.
James Brown's the main guy?
Yeah, Bart Scott was on there for a little bit.
He's not anymore.
Nate Burleson was on there for a little bit.
Coach, what's his name?
Bill Cowher.
Yes, thank you.
Love Bill Cowher.
He's great. He's fantastic. But this is my second ranked one, okay?
Okay.
We're going to go prime time, big time theme. This is my favorite, okay? You have school in a few hours.
Yes.
You're like, Mom, I want to stay up and watch Sunday Night Football. And then she's like, the Ravens and the Steelers are playing. Why do you care? And it's like, because it's football.
This is the theme of I ignored my math homework all weekend long, but at 9 p.m., I'm going to rush to get it done while the Giants and Steelers are playing or something.
I may embarrass myself what I'm about to do, but I'm going to try this.
Okay.
It's Sunday Night Football.
It's Al Michaels?
Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth.
No, the Collinsworth slide in.
Now here's a guy. Yeah.
You know what? This was the one that if Fox wasn't going to be number 1 for me,
This is my number 1. This is my top.
This is when you know, like, not only this, but you get Carrie Underwood singing that intro.
I know.
That's America right there. That's American football right there.
Absolutely. Now we'll go into some of the lesser ones, just because we have to play them.
I know where you're going next. But you know what?
What do you got? What?
This used to be way more iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Absolutely.
When ESPN actually cared about, or when it was on ABC.
Yo, yeah.
That was when it was like, you heard this.
Oh, my God.
And it was phenomenal. Now
Like,
it's just like,
get ready, it's Monday Night Football. And I was just like, Joe Tessitore and a bunch of losers.
Now, Joe
let's give you. Oh, no, it's them now. It's
Buck
them
and
now.
Aikman might restore the feeling.
That's
but
true.
You would hear this, and it's like Steve Levy and
God.
who's good on hockey, but not
Lewis
football.
Riddick and what is it? Brian Greasy?
Brian Greasy.
Why?
Booger McFarlane.
Oh, I love that name.
It's like, it's like, hey, Booger, how you doing on the field? Well, I'm blocking about 10 fans from seeing anything they paid for on the sideline here, Joe.
Well, Matt, you know, since it didn't convert on 4th down, it's a turnover on downs, and now the other team gets the ball.
I'm so glad he's done. I'm so glad he's out of that booth. Oh, my God.
Every year they lose somebody. Every year they lose somebody, whether it's to a coach, a GM, or like just anything.
Booger's just an analyst for them now.
But it's like they always
He's doing college football. If I really weird.
No, I don't miss his 2 + 2 = 4 analysis on Monday Night Football. I really don't.
But like every broadcaster gets like 2 years of NFL Monday Night Football opportunity. 2 years, and that's it, and they're done. Like I don't know.
Does that mean Aikman's gonna go coach the Cowboys?
No, the Cowboys are going to trade for Sean Payton and give us 3 first-round picks, baby.
Trade for Sean Payton? He's gone.
No, we have his rights still.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
We have his rights.
I did not know that.
So we are going to rob. I can see it already. We are going to rob the Cowboys blind.
That's so interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Or the Chargers, since they apparently want them too.
Yeah. All right. The last one we're gonna play, then we got to wrap it up.
Sure.
This is the Thursday Night Football NFL Network theme. I like this one personally.
It's good. It's respectable.
Good.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's respectable. Yeah. It's the same thing about with ESPN now, where it's like it didn't have like a broadcast team to back it up.
That is true.
But this used to hit sometimes back in the day, for sure.
That'll unfortunately do it for our show today, guys.
That's a great ending. Yeah.
This is how we're going to end the show. We're going to play the music out, right?
Perfect lead-in into Football Friday.
What's up next, Mauricio?
Profume d'Italia.
There we go. We'll never forget. We will never forget what's on next.
No, ever. No.
Never. We'll do that every week for you guys. And that'll do it for WHPC Sports Talk for the Thursday edition. Tune in tomorrow for me and Josh making fools of ourselves for an hour and a half alone in the studio.
Football Friday, baby.
Let's go. All right. From Joshua Umahi, Mauricio Mendoza, and Ross Levine, I'm Matt Leonard saying thank you for listening on the Voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.